Hello, hello, my little coloring fiends. Welcome to another color and chat video. Today we have whipped out Spooklettes. I am going once again with the Cali Art markers. I am diligently working through getting through the entire set of these markers. And as it worked out, today the color palette is vaguely reminiscent of the colors selected for the cover, which thank you all so much for voting. If you don't recall, or if you are new to my channel, I had actually requested a vote from my Instagram followers ages ago about the color palette for the cover of this book. I set a few options up for voting. My favorite got no love at all, but this one was the hands down winner, and we went with it, and we're playing with those colors today, kind of, sort of. The pinks, the greens, the purples. I also had you guys vote on which coloring book you wanted to see for the color and chat, and this one won, so here we go. I have just a quick little note. Clearly I've already done the background and I've added some extra shapes. This piece, or this page rather, did not have all of these shapes. I added those in. I encourage you guys to do that whenever you feel like it, whenever you feel comfortable, and whenever you feel uncomfortable. Just add some extra stuff. It's fun. But I want to say, before I jump into the book completely, this is kind of a special color and chat, because at the very end of this color and chat, you are going to see something. You're going to see an end screen that has some names on it. I recently launched a Patreon, and one of my tiers is geared specifically towards the people who are interested in my coloring books and coloring pages. And one of the perk, is it a perk? I don't know. That's the jargon they use on Patreon. Well, one of the perks that I have listed for that tier is that I put your name in the credits of my coloring videos, because after all, you're the ones that help make this happen. My patrons, those of you watching on YouTube, those of you who follow me on Instagram, who purchase the books, all of you have a part in these shenanigans. And to those patrons who just go the little extra mile to hang out with me on Patreon, we have a dedicated end screen, which is, it's kind of cool. It's kind of exciting. I like it. So let's get on into the page. I've already started with a couple of the greens, and we're going to keep this one simple. I always say that, and sometimes it's true, and sometimes it ends up not being the case. But today, my intentions are to keep this fairly simple in terms of a color palette. I'm definitely going to go in and add some accent colors with gel pens later on, but for now, this is what we're working with. I quite like this page. I chose this one. I like so many pages in this book. For the longest time, I think that Spooklettes was the most concise encapsulation of what I do as an artist. I enjoy fashion, I enjoy cute, kitschy things, and slightly spookier subjects, and I think that this book, again, is just a perfect encapsulation of essentially most of what I do as an illustrator. And this page in particular, it's not my favorite page out of the book, but I'm quite drawn to it because she does fashion and spookiness the way I prefer, which is very subtle. I am not a fan of, and if you are, this is not a personal attack, so calm down, but I'm not a fan of the overtly spooky goth type looks, which is to say, I don't like the look of painting my face like a skull, wearing heavy black makeup, you know, the band t-shirts, the all black everything. But I do like to infuse a little bit of spookiness into my fashion, whether it be skull earrings or, in this case, a skull or a coffin purse. I think it's just classy and cool. I like it. I like it a lot, and she does it pretty well. And she's not wearing all black everything. No, ma'am. We like color in this house. I do wear black a lot, though. But I wear black not to be, ooh, spooky, scary goth kid. No. It's simply because black is a neutral palette. And with black, I can wear more colorful eyeshadow if I feel like it that day. My nails, of course. My jewelry. And that's why. I enjoy super loud clothing, of course, but basic black is always a good way to go, too. I did her little bangs pink, and now I want to pull that pink down a bit more. So let's do her little frothy froth here is going to be pink. She has a bit of, I suppose, some retro 60s influence to her clothes and to her eyes. She's got the big 1960s mod eyes with the heavy eyeliner and the heavy lid. And the shapes, I guess, are very mod, maybe a little bit atomic age, if you will. So she's kind of a retro throwback, retro futuristic kind of a situation, we could say, maybe. Which is going to work well with the colors. I almost want to grab something else, like a bright orange perhaps. I'm trying to think of some mod colors. Orange, the greens. We'll see. Maybe we'll add a little something down the line. I would add some bright yellow, but as we're going through this set of markers, I've killed my yellow one ages ago. So yellow is not an option, but orange I do have. Drinking coffee, of course. If you hear that clickety clack. Okay, let's do her corset. Yeah, I'm wanting to grab an orange, so I think we're going to do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my marker bag. Is this going to be a mistake? I don't know. You all know I've been loving playing with ugly color palettes around here as of late. So even if it doesn't work out, it will definitely be a fun little game to play with myself. If you are looking for ways to challenge yourself when it comes to coloring or art, I would highly recommend that you try my little war of attrition that I'm having with my markers, which is to say that I started with a full set and then I'm whittling them down, and I am forcing my brain to figure out different ways to mix colors in terms of a color palette. not actual mixing, but mixing and matching to come up with these bizarro color palettes. So give that a try. I know that some people are very well intentioned when it comes to their art. They're like, oh, I'm going to challenge myself today. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. But then when it comes down to it, they become a little bit timid and they're like, oh, today I was only going to use a limited color palette. I was going to stick with 2 colors, but ooh, look at this big, beautiful set of markers that I have here, or colored pencils, or whatever media you're using. And they get seduced, they get tempted by the other colors, and there goes the experiment, because they have options. This limitation of a color palette is caused by actual physical limitation, meaning if you use your red is bye-bye, and you don't even have the option of using it anymore, so you have to use something else. You are forced into thinking differently. So give it a try. And there's no option for you to wiggle out of it. Don't mix and match brands. Don't do that. Just stick with one brand of colored pencil or marker, whatever it is that you're using, and just keep whittling them down. It is definitely as I said, a war of attrition. That is a pretty good descriptor for it. Her colors are going to end up looking, with the exception of the pink, a bit Halloween-y without my intending them to, and that's kind of cute. It's that subtle spook again. She's not bloody, she's not gory, she's not overtly a monster. She could be, I don't know. Maybe she is. She's a glamour ghoul, as it were. I don't know. But she's got her little coffin bag and she's looking sassy. I'm going to fill these in with, I thought I wanted to do black, but let's go ahead and do them in purple. Yeah, let's do purple. We'll do 2 different colors. On this one, we will do, since that one is already filled in black, we will do something else. God, markers are great. They're just so painless, aren't they? So what should we do here? Pink? Black and pink? Sure, why not? I kind of want to do her little bag pink, though. Okay, so then let's just stick with black and orange then. Her skirt. I don't know. I don't know. I truly have no idea. So while I didn't find, I stepped away from the camera for a bit to look for a yellow. I was just itching to find some kind of yellow. I know I didn't have the bright yellow that I thought that I wanted to use, but I did find a mustard. So I'm going to use a mustard, which is very 60s and 70s. Now the hot pink is throwing me off because hot pink is not really a 60s or 70s color. Well, it's definitely more of a 60s color, so never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. I guess we're okay. It's the orange and the avocado and the dark green that are making me think more 70s on this. So I almost want to get a brown as well, but I still like the idea of keeping that 60s vibe alive as well. with that pink that's happening here. Well, I kind of have no choice because the pink is already there. So I'm going to try to incorporate the mustard, and then in the final steps, I'm going to grab probably a neon gel pen that's pink or something. We're going to pull that pink into the piece somehow. I will figure it out at the end. But for now, we're going to make that mustard work. So I'm going to do some color blocking with black, and this Sharpie is, as everything is always dying on me, I swear, I feel as though every time I film a color and chat video, I'm lamenting my dead pens. But that just goes to show you just how freaking much I use my supplies. I use my supplies constantly. I destroy things constantly, and it's just, I'm constantly replacing what I use, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's annoying. It gets expensive. It gets expensive. Oh, starving artist lament. All of you out there, you constantly use your supplies. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is going to need a couple of passes. I do have other Sharpies, but this one's, it's not quite dead, but it's getting dead. It's dying, so we'll just let it juice up a little bit, and then we'll use it up. Should we do, okay, so let's, the brain is getting ahead of itself. Let's do some of this mustard. I love mustard, by the way. Something has happened within the past couple of years that has made me truly appreciate really, really good mustard. When I was a kid, I never really hated mustard, but I wasn't a big fan of it. I was definitely a ketchup kid. But, well, even as an adult, like in high school, mustard was still kind of to me. But now, I've been exploring better, more adult mustards, you know, not the Frenches, not any of that stuff. And I'm obsessed with it. I have this one, it's not a fancy mustard, it's just a spicy deli mustard from Trader Joe's. But it almost has a horseradish taste to it. And I can just eat it with a spoon. I'm so horrible, I know, but just a soft pretzel and some mustard, oh God. So good. So this right here is like the perfect mustard color, although it's just called boring yellow, but it's yellow. Okay, where else should we put this? Here? Sure, why not? Or here. Ooh, my color palettes are getting uglier and uglier by the day, aren't they? But are we or are we not making them work? We are, right? Now, I know that there are probably some purists out there. Now, actually, the purists have probably long checked out of my channel. I am not necessarily here for the people who, no, not necessarily. I'm not here at all for the staunch traditionalists. Now, if you are a traditionalist, but you have an open mind, you are welcome to play here. You can sit there in your coloring books and do everything by the book beautifully, and then you can watch the crazy clown on her YouTube channel making a mess of her pages. You can do that. But if you're one of these people who's closed-minded and who thinks you have to color a certain way in a very academic format, no, this is not for you. We like to have fun here, but those people, those Karens have long checked out, I'm sure. But for those of you who like watching me torture myself with these ugly colors, I hope you're enjoying it, because they are indeed getting uglier and uglier every time I open a book. we're running out of colors. That's why. Something needs to happen here, and I'm not sure what. I'm stuck. We've reached one of those junctures where I'm just stuck. I want to put some metallic gold somewhere. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to goodness, I have not used one of these metallic markers in my coloring books in ages. I used to use them all the time, the deco colors. Oh my gosh, I used so many of those in my books all the time. I need to start using them again. It's just the reason that I don't is because they're more difficult to find now. I had a stash of them years ago that I had purchased when I lived in San Diego. And then as those died out, I just stopped using them and I switched to metallic gel pens. And it had nothing to do with the noxious odor, which I actually enjoy because I like the smell of caustic chemicals because my brain is just not wired properly. But I stopped using them because my stash ran out, and they're just difficult to find because technically they're not supposed to be shipped via air. They're supposed to be ground shipped, and that shipping ends up costing way more than the markers themselves. Real-time experimentation. So this marker was becoming gloopy once the solvent in these markers starts to dry out and or run out. The pigments don't spread as much and it becomes a bit gloopy. I don't have another one this size at the moment. So when I make a mistake, what do? Cover it up. So I grabbed this beautiful ink. This is technically a calligraphy pen ink. It's very thick though. You have to mix it up really, really well, or else the pigment particles settle at the bottom, and at the top you're left with this kind of orange muck. I did not mix it well the first time, so I did a very quick mix, and you can see the orange muck, and I covered over the marker base that was underneath that, the gold marker, and I did that intentionally. I wanted to see what this ink would look like without stirring it properly. And as you can see, now it is stirred properly. It's looking more of a yellow gold than this browny orange muck. But I was just curious. I was curious to see what would happen. There's a distinctive orangey gold look that a lot of vintage 70s housewares have. The candelabras, the wall sconces. There's even a type of mirror. It was a mirror that was very popular back then that had gold and bronze veining in it. It basically was, I think, supposed to replicate the look of marble, but in a mirror. And it kind of has that color to it. And I was like, you know, I bet I can probably replicate that. Kind of, at least in my brain, if I don't mix this ink right. And so we tried that. And so I'm going to play with that. I'm going to leave that in that weird funky orange color. And then I'm going to fill in this triangle over here with just a regular gold. Do you see the difference here? How this is a super bright, nice, traditional yellow gold, and then that's more of a goopy, sludgy looking kind of orangey gold. This ink is difficult to use. If you do not stir it well, you are not going to get good results. So if you've never used a metallic paint before or ink, you might want to stay away from it unless you are feeling a bit brave, because it works beautifully if you stir it very, very well. You get all that particulate in there nice and mixed together. If not, you're going to end up with this. But if I can find this on Amazon, I will have the link down below. And if I can't find it at Amazon, I will at least have the name listed so you can hunt it down wherever you shop. I'm sure it's available at all major art stores because that's where I got mine from. I don't remember which one, sorry, but I've had it for a while. But I'm sure you can find it. Because technically it's not in illustration ink. Oh, time for food. It's a calligraphy ink. Iridescent, Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent calligraphy color. Yep. Do I have any calligraphers out there? And I'm not talking about the people who dabble in calligraphy. You know, you buy one book and you play with it for an hour. I'm talking about the real, bona fide, dedicated calligraphers. Do I know anybody like that? Oh, you guys, I'm jealous. Calligraphy is not something that I want to make room in my life for because you need to be very dedicated to it and to really hone the craft. But oh man, I have so much admiration and respect for people who can do calligraphy because it is gorgeous. I've got to have some calligraphers out there, right? I know I have some scrapbookers and some really hardcore card makey type folks. You guys love this stuff, right? The calligraphy. Okay, I feel my Pavlovian dog reflexes are going off. I heard the bell, I heard the dinner bell. It is time to eat. It's not really dinner bell. It is mid-morning, so my afternoon snack bell. I'll be back later. Hello, everyone. Several days have elapsed since last I sat down to work on this page, so I don't remember where I left off, but I do recall that this was quite a struggle bus of a situation. So we're parked in the back of the bus. I have my green tea at the ready. I've just finished my coffee. Dang it. I should have refilled before I started filming, but that's all right. We are going to carry on with this little lady. Do I know what I'm going to do with her yet? No. Don't know where I'm going with her. But I'm pulling out a couple of colors here that I may want to play with. I mentioned not too long ago that I really like these thin Uniball metallic pens, and the lovely Kate, if you're watching, Kate of Kate's Coloring Haven here on YouTube, on Instagram, and the lovely administratrix, what shall we call her? Administratrix sounds like dominatrix, which is fine by me. Over on Facebook, she mans that, or womans, if you will, that group. She sent me some lovely pens in the mail, some replacements for my beloved dual hybrid metallics, and she sent me this, well, among other things, but this gold, thin gold metallic, so we're going to be using that probably, and my tried and true gold sparkle pop. Okay, let's go ahead and play with the orange. I do want to color her skin. I'm not sure what color I'm going to color her skin, I'm probably going to have to jump into my marker box because don't start with me. Do not start with me. Are we already going to deal with the dyeing pens? I just sat down to work. Don't start giving me crap, pens. Okay. Oh God, what was I saying? Something about the skin, that we're probably going to have to jump into the marker box, so that our marker bags, so that I can select a flesh tone, because I don't know what, well, I take that back. When I say flesh tone, I don't mean flesh tone as in tan, peach, pink, white, brown. I mean color, as in yellow, pink, purple. So we'll figure out what color for her skin we're going to do later, because I do want something. Sometimes I tend to leave the skin white so that the makeup has room to play, but for today I think I do want to slap some color on her skin. Oops. Apologies if while I've been rambling the camera was jiggling. I have my hair up in a bun. My hair is long. My hair is it boob length at this point? Just about boob length, which for me is considered very long. I like to have my hair short, the longest point being at my collarbone at the longest. Sometimes I go a couple inches shorter. I like short hair on me. I like having a bob. But with the pandemic being what it is, and things being closed, things not being closed, and all of those shenanigans, I have not been cutting my hair with any frequency, which has been a good and a bad thing. It's been fun to see what I would look like with long hair and to try to navigate those waters, which have been a little bit rough. But oh no, I miss my short hair. But having the long hair has made me start playing with hairstyles. I've been wrapping scarves. I have a scarf around it right now, this leopard scarf. I've been wrapping scarves around it. I've been putting it up in a bun. I've been doing other such things. And this whole long hair thing has made me begin experimenting with turbans. So my disco loving heart is thumping for the turbans, because if you are unfamiliar with 70s fashion, disco style and all of that, turbans were huge back in the 70s. Everyone who was a fashionable lady, from the young to the mature, were wearing these fantastic turbans out to the disco, lounging at home. Just look at disco fashion, 1970s turbans, Elizabeth Taylor, look it up, all of those good things. So I'm trying to do that, and I think I like it. I am no stranger to the accessories, the earrings, the rings, and all of that. And so putting my hair up in a turban is going to be a fun way to wear my big earrings. I'm wearing big earrings today. Here, I'll take one out. It's a giant star hoop earring. Ow. See? They're hoop earrings, but they're star. Hey, I bent it. Well, you get the idea. It's a giant hoop earring. It's a star. They're huge. Now do you understand why I draw such big earrings on all of my girls? Most of my girls. I love big earrings. That is why. We need to pull this orange down somewhere else. Let's bring it into the fishnets, into her striped stockings. But how? I don't want to just fill it in solid. No. Oh my gosh, this page is going to be the death of me. We are going to grab my beloved Moonlights, the Jelly Roll Moonlight in orange. we are going to wake this orange up with some of this yummy, is it considered neon or a pastel? I'm not sure. Next time I purchase these pens, I'm going to have to look if they're marketed as pastels or neons, because to me they seem quite neon, some of the colors. Other ones do definitely lean more pastel, but I don't know. Maybe it's one of those situations where it's all dependent on perception. Maybe you see these as pastel, I see them as neon. I don't know. This page is difficult. She's definitely my most difficult in terms of making it work with the quote-unquote ugly color palettes that I've been playing with. Oh my gosh, I keep feeling my bun on the top of my head bonking into my camera. I'm so sorry. I scoot over a little bit. I scooched over just a couple inches, so maybe that will help. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the tremors. Okay, now let's come in here and we'll do should we go? No. We're just going to highlight it. Yeah, she's a struggle. Dang it. But this is fun. Going through the motions is easy, but I enjoy making myself think, giving myself a hard time. At this point, I'm still not seeing how this page is going to work out at the end. I have faith, though, I think. But she's still putting me through it. She's definitely a fun distraction. I have so much to do today. I have Etsy shop updates. I have orders that I need to go take to the post office. Busy, busy, busy. I have to go grocery shopping. Ugh. Boring, but I have to eat, unfortunately. I think what I need to do is flesh out the details and the outlines on her. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through and clean up the lines and then start adding details. And then hopefully once I do that, the ideas in my brain will start to coalesce, or at least start to form is what I should say, because I have no ideas right now. I'm literally just floating and just putting ink on the paper, trying to work out the problems. More often than not, when I'm working on the details of a page, I will come up with ideas. Sometimes good ideas, sometimes bad ideas, but they are ideas nonetheless. So hopefully by doing this, we'll figure out something because this girl, I just don't know where she's going. Oh my gosh, somebody please sing the tunnel song. The tunnel song from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The original with Gene Wilder. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite part in the entire movie. When they're in the tunnel and Willy Wonka is scaring the bejesus out of everybody. How many of you are either singing it or looking it up right now? There's a lot I hate about that movie. Just a lot that annoys me. Charlie being one of them. But Willy Wonka is just the best. The best of the best. Surprise, surprise, I have a thing for quirky, intelligent, well-dressed men. Willy Wonka, Jeff Goldblum, the love of my life. I wish I could say the same for women. I had a bit of a crush on Imogen Heap for a little while until I realized how truly... I don't know how to say this without sounding like a horrible person, because she's wicked talented. Imogen Heap, she's a musician. I just thought she was really cool. She's talented, no doubt, but this little sparklet of a crush that I had on her disappeared when I realized just how boring her desires for domestic bliss were. All she wants in life is to love and get married and have children, and I'm thinking, oh my God. Ooh, no thanks. So that's the kind of thing that instantly kills a crush for me. I still think she's cool, and I would love to hang out with her and go out for a spot of tea, because she is British. Her live shows are great, but just, the crushes just get squashed when I realize how... I'm trying to think of a word, because normal is not the word that I'm trying to use, because I hate when people pretend to be so weird and I'm such a weirdo, and relax. There's nothing wrong with being quote unquote normal. Normal is relative, okay? But shall we say basic? Is that the word? Okay, maybe that's what I'm looking for. There's nothing wrong with being basic. There's nothing wrong with a basic t-shirt and a basic pair of jeans. They look great, right? But it's just not very interesting. And so when people are basic, like a good dependable t-shirt and a pair of jeans, it's great and I love them. They just don't excite me, right? If you can tell, I'm trying to be careful with my words because I'm having difficulty articulating this concept, because anything I say can be interpreted as being elitist, like, oh, you just think you're so cool. That's not it at all. I'm wearing, can you see my shirt? A basic ass t-shirt and jeans. Although it's not that basic, because look, it's a ruched cropped tee. Can you see the ruching? It is a ruched tee, ladies and gentlemen. But still, whatever. Let's switch topics before somebody gets their panties in a twist and gets offended by what I'm saying. Let's whip out. See? My wiggling around with the pen has made me want to do something. Pink gel pen. Let's go ahead and put some detail work on her little floof, which, shoot, is not going to translate very much on camera because this color is very similar to the pink that's already there. So what I'm going to do is do this off camera, and I may... Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Yeah, we're going to do it. I was going to say I may introduce a yellow, but no, may nothing. We are going to do it. So I'm going to grab the yellow Moonlight as well. And I'm going to show you on this segment of her boa what I'm going to be doing. So I laid down the pink, which you can barely tell, but it's there, I assure you. The pink, and then I'm going to go in and add yellow as well, just for a little bit of added zhuzhing. Like so. Okay, so there's pink and yellow on this boa now. And this is it a boa? Whatever it is. It could be a floof of chiffon. I have no idea. I draw what I draw, and oftentimes I cannot provide an explanation. It's just clothes that I like. So that's what we're going to do first. Just to make it easier on myself, I like to lay down one color first. So I'm going to be doing all of the pink first, and then once the pink is down, we'll do the yellow. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I will check in with you when that is done. So here we go, continuing with this little lady. Since the last time we chit-chatted, I have done clearly quite a bit more than I anticipated doing. Because, as I was squawking about earlier, sometimes when I go off on my little scribbly adventures, ideas happen, things change. So, what have I done since last time we spoke? I covered up the pink in the background with black glaze. I killed off one of my glaze pens, and I added some accent colors around the shapes. Filled in a little bit of her outfit, her hat. I did a lot. So I'm going to try to finish as much of this as I can because I had planned, of course, this morning to sit down and finish it. And story of my life, as soon as I sat down, grabbed all of my materials, my green tea, my coffee, the power went out. Because of course it did, because of my life. So now we are going to fight in the darkness. Well, the sun has set, but it's still not evening. It's not total. I live right by some mountains, so even though it's technically not nighttime, as soon as the sun dips behind the mountains, my light goes bye-bye. So let's continue. Her eyes. What shall we do with her eyes? I got rid of the pink in the background, but I still want some of it. So maybe we should give her pink eyes. Let's do that. Her eyeshadow was also pink at one point, but I gave her a lash, and so you can't really see. You can see it peeking through just a little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay, so there is some pink, and we're going to put in some highlights with the gel pen, and if you hear the growling, I am not possessed. That would be the beast running around, toy mingling as he does. My demons tend to be a little bit quieter than that. So if you hear him running around acting a fool, that's what's going on in the background. Okay, now I would like to, well, first of all, we're going to cover this with one more coat oh, maybe not. The Sparkle Pops / the Dual Metallics don't layer on themselves very well. So although I wanted to give that another coat, we're just going to leave that alone. She does need some gold though, so let's go in with the gold Sparkle Pop now and do some gold glitter. We're going to glitter her little star. Is this a brooch? Maybe it's a brooch. I don't know. We'll do this. Far be it from me to go through a page and not slap a little bit of gold glitter on it, right? Gold metallic, gold glitter. Gotta have something. Gotta have something. Oh, hello, gremlin. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi? Come here. He came over here to jump on me and give me a little scratch. And then he's like, oh, why are we whining? What? What? Oh. He ran over to the window and he's looking out the window. I don't know what he's whining at. What are you whining at? I don't know. He's odd. Oh, come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, you're knocking over the camera. Say hi. Say hello, everybody. Would you like a snack? Snack? Okay. 1 second. I have to give this beast a snack. Where was I? Gold accessories, yes. And let's go ahead and do gold on her coffin box, her little handbag, purse, whatever this is. And then now, because there's gold at the bottom, I'm going to want to pull it up into the top somehow. So we'll figure that out in a minute. But I'm going to keep this segment of the video as short as I possibly can, because at this point, I believe we're close to an hour. And I don't want to go too far over an hour. Some people enjoy long-form videos, others do not. YouTube is a booger, and if I upload a video that is an hour long and people watch it in segments, YouTube thinks, oh, okay, she uploaded a video that was an hour long, but people only sat through it for 5 to 10 minutes, which means it's a shit video. Never mind if you guys come back to it later. YouTube will see it as, she's not very engaging. She uploads these long videos and nobody's watching them for very long, so we're not going to recommend her videos, not to the public and not even to her own subscribers, meaning that it won't even show you my thumbnails in your feed, or if you have the bell checked to your notifications. So it's like, okay, YouTube, not everybody has the time or desire to sit down for an entire hour and watch a video from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Some people like to watch in segments, and that's totally fine, but YouTube is stupid, and it just punishes people for that sort of thing. It's so stupid. Watch my videos however you want. If you want to watch a 3-hour long video in, what's the word? In segments of, I don't know, 5 minutes each, do it. Do whatever you'd like. YouTube is going to be a tyrant, and it's going to push my videos down further, but I'm not here for the money. Just for transparency's sake, I make about $8 to $10 a month. $8 to $10 a month on my videos, okay? For the hours and hours and hours that I've put into my YouTube channel, filming and editing these videos. I make 10 bucks, if even that. So trust me, I'm not here for the money. I'm here because I love my books. I love spending time with the public who enjoys my art and my coloring books, and it's just fun. It's fun for me. So, if YouTube unsubscribes you or if it does not show you my videos, I'm sorry. It's just because that's YouTube's way. All right. Let's put some gold in the background, but how? Should we just do some random lines? Just some accents like that. Oh, that was a little bit more crooked than I would have liked. But there, we'll just freestyle some lines in the background. And then we'll call her, well, no, I was going to say we'll call her done, but I still need to do the face. So we'll have to figure that out in a minute. I like gold on green. Gold on green is so beautiful. Gold with green, gold with purple, gold with pink. There's just something about green and gold in particular that I like a lot. Okay, I do like that. Something funky is happening over here with this apple green color. It layered, oops, very poorly in some areas. So I'm just going to try to saturate it some more. If that doesn't work, then we'll just cover it up. Like I did with the pink up here. When something's just not working, cover it up. Cover it up and do something else. Okay, but her face though, her face, seriously, it's killing me. Killing me. I said that I wanted to possibly do yellow, right? So let's see about making that happen. But I do not have a yellow, so I'm going to grab this kind of a citron color. Well, technically it's called anise, if we're being technical, and we're going to give her a green face, kind of an absinthe green color. Well, then, okay, I said absinthe, so I suppose anise makes sense. And surprise, surprise, the bastard is dying on me. I like her. Now she's getting definitely a little bit of a monster type look to her. She would make an adorable doll, wouldn't she? Oh, what a dream. I would love to design dolls based after some of my girls. Oh my god, that would be so cute. Can you imagine? Oh, I would die. Little dolls or action figures, something. Oh my god, I would die. That would be so fantastic. I like this color. It brought together the greens in the background, and yeah, it worked. It worked out quite nicely. Her eyes are looking a bit flat, so I am going to go in with some grays to add just a little bit of a shadow. Let's see what we have here. So here is a green gray. I wish I had one that was a little bit lighter. Unfortunately, I do not. Let's see, what is this? Blue. Okay, I'm just going with this. It's fine. With lashes so large, it would only make sense to have them casting just a little bit of a shadow on her eyes, like so. Isn't that such a bizarre little trick? You just put just the tiniest amount of a gray, darker color, just a neutral on the eyes, and it makes them look a bit more three-dimensional than they otherwise would. It's a cool little trick. Try it out. Try it out. Let's do a little bit more work on her eyes. I do want to extend her eyeliner, surprise, surprise, because you know me and my eyeliner. Okay, and I will be highlighting her lashes just a little bit. Just a few little sparkly bits. Add a little bit more lash. Cute. That Anise, man, that did it for me. I really like the way she's looking now in the face. If shading with markers intimidates you, use light colors and then just continue to layer those light colors, and you'll see the colors start to build. That's what I did here. It's the same color green, but I did one more coat of it, and it looks darker than it's going to be when it's dry, because the ink is still wet. But once it dries, it's going to see, you're going to see a little bit of a shadow there. So that's one way to, not necessarily cheat, but to get more accustomed to shading before you dive in completely if you're a little bit timid about it. So give that a shot. And let's just go ahead and start highlighting her face now with, let's do a little bit of white and yellow. So a little highlight on her little nose. It's quite magical what monochromatic highlights can do to your illustrations and to your coloring pages. You should give it a try. Yes, it's a little bit tedious and it's not entirely necessary, but if you're looking to add a little bit more interest to your pages without it being such a stark highlight, such as a white will give you, try monochromatic, tonal, tone on tone. Okay, and with that, she is almost done, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you all of the little teeny tiny details. Instead, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to finish her off camera, and then I will reconvene with you all at the end. So I'm just going to go in and add some black detail work, as I usually do, for some areas of depth. For instance, right here on her hair, just some scriggly, scraggly lines, like so. I've already started to do it a little bit in a few areas, but I'm going to continue that path on her little floof. Yeah, so just in a few areas to give the piece a little bit more depth and dimension. I may do a little bit more line work on the color blocking in the background, but that's going to be it. Just some black lines, a little bit more accent details, and then I'll catch up with you when she's done. And here is our little spooklet completed. I like her. Is she one of my favorite pages? No, but I ended up liking the results, so this was fun. I mean, when are my coloring chats not enjoyable? I get to sit down, color with you guys. It's fantastic. So links to everything that you need to know will be down below. The names and or the links to the art supplies will be listed as always. Links to the books and links to where you can find me online. As always, you can just refer to my website for everything that you need. My socials, my books, everything. So all of that is down below. And for my lovely, delicious little color fiends, my Patreon patrons, I hope that you enjoy the end screen. I highly enjoyed putting that together, and I look forward to adding names to that roster in the future. But for now, I have the first patrons on there, and it looks fantastic. I'm probably a little bit giddier than I should be, but I'm excited for you guys to see it. I hope that you enjoyed the way that it looks. I love it. Thank you all so much for the love, patrons or not. All of you who ever sat down and watched this video, thank you so much. Get out of here. Go do something fun. Color in a book. Why don't you? Do something. Do something enjoyable, and I will see you in the next one.